All right. I want to talk about a story of your worst customer experience that you recall having. Now, first, introduction here. We got my man Sean,
Hello.
who's worked here we're approaching 10 years now, right? Mm-hmm. And then we got my man Austin, who's past 2 years, creeping on 2 1/4, 2.5 years here, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, both of you guys have a pretty drastic customer experience. So
To say the least.
let's first hear. I want to know the beginning of what happened when you walked up to the house. What was the reason for the call, and what happened in the beginning?
So it was for a home warranty, and I think we've been there one other time. There was an issue with the fireplace going out sporadically. So we get there, begin to try to diagnose, but it's working. So what can we diagnose? So I proceed to tell him, hey, I'm going to cycle it on and off to see if I can't recreate the issue. He looks at me and says, well, last guy said you'll just replace it. Just replace it. I'm like, but it's working. So if I replace that gas valve, because we suspected the gas valve, then what if it's something else? And the home warranty will hold us accountable. Right. So I explained the whole scenario to him, and
keep in mind, I'm an apprentice. I have zero knowledge to the field. I'm really more or less just kind of assisting Sean in, just facilitating service calls. So this is all transpiring, and I'm also do not even know what's going on with the issue at hand. I don't know how to technically diagnose something like this, so I'm just kind of following Sean's lead.
And you, at this point, you had worked here for a couple months?
Maybe like a month.
So to paint the picture, this is soon to unfold to be a drastic, holy shit, what have I gotten myself into? This might not be the right industry, I'm sure, at the end of this.
Yes.
Yeah, so we begin to attempt to recreate the scenario, and the more we try, the angrier he gets. And mind you, this guy is also a business owner.
Local business owner?
Yep, local business owner.
We should bust him out.
Can I give a hint? I won't say the name, I'll say what he does, though. Anyway, so we start diagnosing, and then he just, that's just a whole crock of beep.
A crock of shit?
Crock of shit.
Yeah.
And he said, more or less, I am, just trying to get one up on him for a return visit. I'm like, return visits still aren't good for us.
We don't make any money on return visits, so completely wrong.
Yep, and with those home warranties, every time we have to make a return, it gives us a bad mark. And so he just says, hey, I was told to get replaced. So I make the phone call to the last tech who was there, and he said he never did it. He never said that, and pretty much explained to him that we have to re-diagnose regardless.
And while this is happening, I'm disassembling the glass case on the front of the fireplace while all of this is transpiring.
Okay, so you show up. He tells you you're going to replace it. You say, wait, no, I need to diagnose it again.
Yep.
You go to diagnose, and it's working.
Yep.
He gets mad.
It was working on arrival.
Okay, you showed up, and it was working fine. He had it turned on.
Yep.
So he starts to tell you, no, I want a new... Is he talking about a whole fireplace or just the gas valve?
Gas valve, just gas valve.
But it's working.
Yep, working.
So you can't diagnose something that's working. Mm-hmm. But he's frustrated right away and says, no, I want a new gas valve. Okay.
Yep, and we even cycled it on and off once or twice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Give or take. And then he just basically starts talking all sorts of crap about me. I can't even remember what it was, but do you recall?
Definitely kind of took shots at your integrity, your character.
He was cursing me out.
Oh, that's fun.
Started swearing at us. At this point, I've kind of frozen, and I'm more or less just listening for Sean's cue on what I need to do next, because I have the front plates taken off of this fireplace, and I'm kind of just holding them, because don't want them to break. I don't want to lay them down. Haven't had enough time to even get a drop cloth down to keep from messing up floors of the glass.
Yeah.
And so I'm just in a state of confusion, and Sean's getting just berated with insults at this point.
Yep, and I look at the man. I'm like, look, I can call the home warranty, but they're going to tell you exactly what I'm telling you. If it's working, I can't do nothing. This is per home warranty.
Right. This is the way so just for the people listening, With a home warranty company, they dictate what we can and can't do. And so if we show up and the part is working, they will not authorize replacement until it has failed. So if we show up and everything's working fine, we can't tell them, hey, well, it's working, however, we think we should replace it. They wait until it has failed. So they are a very reactionary. It needs to be failed in order for us to replace. So that's the big difference here. If it was just the homeowner without a home warranty company, he could always make the choice to just proactively replace it himself, but this is different.
Yeah, more or less, he wanted me to commit insurance fraud, I would say.
Something along
Lie.
those lines.
I mean, technically,
Wanted to lie for him.
But yeah, so he just starts going crazy, and then I look at him. I'm like, sir, I don't appreciate the way you're talking to me. I'm literally here doing my job, and I am following the rules per your insurance. I can't do anything further. And as soon as I say that, he said, "Get the F out of my house." I'm like, all right, I'm going. And I go now.
I start
Yep.
throwing this thing back together as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, just trying to get the fireplace back together. And then as we're kind of like being, I wouldn't want to say escorted out of the house, we were more than happy to leave, because that's the whole goal, is for us to be able to leave with a happy customer. And if we're starting this call off with someone who is this unhappy with us, we would prefer to just leave.
For sure, it's very uncomfortable.
It's a zero success rate,
Especially when
situation.
they're aggressive.
Yeah, it's zero success rate. We're not gonna be able to walk away feeling good like we need to be about the call. And so leaving, we're more than happy to leave, but for some reason the customer wanted to follow us every step of the way, continue adding insults, even to the point to where me and Sean were getting into the service van to leave, and he was still in his front yard making claims, throwing out insults and cursing at us.
Trying to intimidate us.
Yeah.
Really?
Which he failed at that, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it was like he was trying to, not necessarily me, I'm more of just like the bystander in the situation, but I feel like he was trying to antagonize Sean, to get Sean to escalate the situation, so he wasn't the only one escalating it.
Did you tell the customer that if he says one more thing, we're going to roll up deep and whoop his ass?
I actually saw him. So I saw him at Dylan's.
Just kidding.
I saw him at Dylan's like 2 weeks later, and we locked eyes. And I'm like, okay.
Catch me in these streets.
And so, no, this is no joke. I seen him, and decent sized dude, older gentleman, but not a gentleman actually, but older
Rude.
man.
An adult that has no self-control of his emotions.
He immediately looked at me, went like this, and just looked the other way, and I saw him just speed walk the other way. I'm like, yeah, that's a victory, I guess. But
Yeah. And
Very
for me, one of the funniest parts was like Sean, as we were leaving, I've already clicked seatbelt in the van. I'm trying to get the hell out of here.
Good job not saying the F word.
Yeah, I'm watching it. I'm trying to be on. I'm just like, all right, let's get out of here. Like, I'm not even at this point in time. I've only been in the trade a month. I'm still trying to acclimate to being inside of a stranger's home and being comfortable. So I'm just as quick as I could to the van, seatbelt buckled. Sean, very adept into this field at this point, very skilled. Probably has had other situations unfold, not the best. So this is definitely nothing new to Sean. And he's kind of like, as the customer would engage him and say something else, Sean would walk backwards, stop, try to address properly, a rebuttal in a very respectful manner. And then the customer would push forward and Sean would step back more and continue to address. And at this point, I'm getting nervous. I'm extremely nervous. And so at this point, I'm probably just yelling from the van, Sean, come on, man. Sean, get in the van. Let's leave, Sean. Like, get in.
All right. Well, we're almost at 10 minutes already, so we need to wrap this thing up. That's crazy. I never understood why any customer you can be frustrated, but it's never made sense to me why it's okay to someone to just blatantly disrespect. I can't imagine doing that to somebody working in my house.
Yeah.
It's just not the way I was raised. It's not who I am.
Yeah.
Like, you would have to take me to such an extreme for me to even start getting visibly upset with you.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just talk and communicate, and 9 times out of 10, you get some understanding and you move on. So,
Yeah, it
anyways,
works out.
Terrible Customer Chronicles, Volume 1. See ya.